247 Sports. Kevin Boilard and Matt Eurich met up for the second Breaking Bears episode on Tuesday to discuss all the latest news surrounding the Chicago Bears. In their discussion, they went over the key No.8 spot for the Bears, whether or not Quenton Nelson makes the most sense for the organization and whether or not trading back makes sense for the team. Here is a recap of what went down in the latest episode. Is Quenton Nelson worth it at number 8? This question will continue to plague the Bears ahead of Thursday night's NFL draft in Arlington, Texas. There is little doubt Nelson is the best guard in this year's draft. The Notre Dame standout was a unanimous All-American last season and has pegged by some as the safest prospect in this year's draft. Even with the Bears needing a lot of help at the guard position, taking Nelson that high may not be the best value for the organization. Considering how many needs the team has on both sides of the ball, particularly at pass rusher, justifying the selection of someone like Nelson may be a bit difficult. He will undoubtedly improve the offensive line and make them better, but is a guard good enough to help change the tide for the organization? At the end of the day, it is important that the Bears find someone who can make an instant impact as a playmaker, and Nelson just is not that type of player. Breaking down the best linebacker options. If Chicago passes on Nelson, the linebacker position makes the most sense to address. It is unlikely a pure pass rusher will be taken with that spot, considering the lack of depth at the position and the fact that Bradley Chubb will likely be off the board, but an inside linebacker is still an area the Bears need to improve. The top two names the Bears can consider at that position are Virginia Tech's Tremaine Edmunds and Georgia's Roquan Smith. Both put together monster 2017 seasons for their respective teams, but both offer a different skill set. Edmunds is a pure athletic freak who can do a lot of different things on defense. He can attack downhill against the run, drop back in coverage, or even blitz off the edge as an outside linebacker. The concerns are that at just the age of 19 he still will have a steep learning curve when it comes to the NFL. As far as Smith is concerned, he is also an athletic nightmare who works very well downhill and sideline to sideline. He is a bit undersized for the inside linebacker position and can sometimes struggle with shedding blockers. Even with that said, he would become an instant leader on a defense that needs a young, charismatic voice in the locker room. The importance of hitting on the second-round pick. Last year the Bears traded away their 2018 third-round pick as part of the trade-up for Mitch Trubisky with the second overall pick. Because of that deal, a bigger emphasis will now be placed on GM Ryan Pace's ability to land a high-end player in the second round. Last year's second-round selection, Adam Shaheen, is still a bit of a project, meaning it will be imperative for Pace to find another starter in the second round. With the 39th overall pick, there will be plenty of viable options for the team once the second round begins. Wide receivers like Courtland Sutton or Christian Kirk can be available, as well as one of the next tier of guards outside of Nelson that includes Georgia's Isaiah Wynn of UTEP's Will Hernandez. Want to keep up with the Bears during the off-season? Take a second to sign up for our free Bears newsletter. If the pass rush is not addressed in the first round, Georgia outside linebacker Lorenzo Carter also makes sense for the Bears.